Hey everybody, my name's Courtney Skinner. Um, haven't been on for a while because I have some things going on in my life, and so do a few of my close friends here. Something came up recently, and I just wanted to share it with everybody because I think it's pretty important. Um, Stephen Avery was recently moved to Fox Lake Corrections. I believe it's a medium security. Um, Pretty good news, I think, because it's a little, less locked down. I think I think he has more access to educational supplies and things like that. Um, One of the things that occurred as he moved, we thought maybe, because of the transition, he was having a hard time getting a hold of us. And I haven't talked to Stephen, I think, since probably April, maybe May. But obviously, Kim Ducat, his cousin and strongest family support, hadn't heard from him either, and she was pretty concerned about that. And then found out that through other people communicating with Stephen that Kim Ducat's phone number was blocked from Stephen's account, and it was blocked through Fox Lake Correctional. So it took a while to get that straightened out. It never really got straightened out. Neither Stephen nor Kim can figure out why the number would be blocked because neither one of them blocked it. And they both talked to administrators there, and they don't seem to know why it's blocked either. But pretty odd. So a little break in our communication, but um, we we did communicate with Stephen again. So right now there is a rally for Stephen and Brendan, I believe, both of them in Manitowoc coming up. So I like to go to every rally because I just like to scream for justice for them, and I don't know, I just like to represent them. Last year when we went to the rally, uh, Stephen had asked us to give a message to his niece, Carla Chase, and it was pretty kind of funny. The message came from Kim Ducat to Carla, and the message was, I think it was pretty much exactly this: "Fuck you." But it was something he wanted done, so Kim took the effort to go do it. So naturally, we know there's another rally coming up, so we decided, to ask him if he had anything that he'd like to say or like us to, say for him. So it was in that interaction that it's because of that interaction that brings me here right now. And I'm going to make this really short. It's just something I just wanted to put out there because I do think it's really important, and um, I'm going to speak for this man, and we do have a message, and if we're the people that have spoken up in this area have we know that we're targeted, so we all have our own things going on to try to stay above water here, and it's very consuming. But anyway, we're going to do our best to represent for Stephen always, and hey, I'll represent for Brendan anytime you need somebody honest out there. So what happened was is Kim got the message and she typed it into a message for me, word for word of what Stephen said. So it's kind of, I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it exactly how it's written to me. And this is directly from Stephen Avery. And then I might go back through it. I might not, though, because I'm really just trying to relay this message for a friend of mine, Stephen Avery. So it's not real long, but it says this, and I think it's very important because a lot of people don't actually know what's going on in this case, especially now. But Stephen says, ditch the fucking family and don't buy anything from the yard. Okay, he's talking about Avery Salvage Yard. He says they stole all of his vehicles and crushed them, and that they're a party to the crime. And we know that. And then he says, and they're still doing crime, every one of them. He says they destroyed the Blazer and the trailer, and Bobby must have done something with it. We so know that, Stephen. He says they crushed all of his vehicles and all of Barb's vehicles. He says, this one's interesting, and always a lot of us know this. He says they had a plan to get rid of him, and he's talking about his brothers, his sister, his nieces, and some of his nephews. And at the end, he says, "This is my message." So I guess I thought that, yeah, it's one thing that I can absolutely deliver this message for Stephen to the family. And at any time, I wouldn't mind doing that. But I guess I just feel like his message is to everybody. It isn't just to the family. He wants everybody to know this. And I probably shouldn't get too much into it. I don't really want to put my personal onto it. I'm simply relaying this message for Stephen. And I know that there might be some controversy over that, and I know there's a lot of people that know what happened here, and we're all still looking into it. And one thing that I'm just going to explain before I get off here is that I noticed last year, it's probably been about a year now, that there was a definite division in the supporters for Brendan and the supporters for Stephen, although a lot of the supporters don't say that. I believe that the people that are supporting Stephen's family, like Barb, Bobby, Chuck, Earl, Carla, I would assume that they're on the side of Brendan. I'm not sure what their view is on Stephen. They claim that he is innocent, but they don't back him so well. And if you're still out there not seeing that this family is involved, and you're choosing the side of Barb Taddick, you're definitely on the wrong path. I did an interview with Tom Sawinski in April as well, and somebody hacked that video. We pulled it because Zellner hadn't done her motion, but we got hacked and somebody else put out the video. And it's just been a little bit of drama and chaos in this community. But just here to say that we're not sitting down, and no matter what, we're going to stand for this man, and we also stand for Brendan. We know he's innocent too. We're not trying to get into any cliques or play any games. These men were framed by the state of Wisconsin. Stephen was framed twice. The proof is there. And I guess that's all I really had to say. I just wanted to say that and make it clear to people, where he's at, and that he knows now. And it's because of all the research and everything he's done. It has, I talked to him in April. A lot of people think I have some kind of influence over the guy, and that's really funny. And, I would like to get on someday and talk about my conversations with him, because, it's kind of refreshing talking to the man himself, and to hear his, his demeanor, his affect when he's talking about, the case and stuff. So, anyway, let's hear what Stephen's saying. He's directly pointing at his family, and he knows that the Avery salvage yard is still profiting off of him in his name, and he knows that they all have conspired to frame him, and Brendan too. So, y'all have a good day. Thanks for listening.